Welcome to the Bible Belt Bros podcast. Well, if you think of Bible Belt, that's usually what comes in my mind is a hick, some cowboy, church.
Definitely not what comes to my mind at all.
When you hear Bible Belt in the South,
We're not the South, Dusty.
we're in Oklahoma. That's
It's
close.
not the South.
It's not. It's south. It's southern.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
Southern
is.
is Georgia,
I mean,
Alabama,
if you compare it
Mississippi.
to Alaska, we are way south.
If you compare it to Peru, we're way north.
Okay, well, how do northern people talk? I don't know.
Like this?
You gotta pinch your nose.
Very proper. I don't know any big words, but if I did, that's what I'd use. Speaking northern. This is the About Us podcast. We are going to talk about us.
Just about us.
And,
If you guys have heard any of our podcasts yet, well, one, thank you. Two, this is going to be completely different than what our normal podcast is like. This is, we just want to let you guys know who we are, and what we do, where we come from, and maybe give you a little insight of why we think what we think.
explain ourselves. We're not against church, and we're not. We're both actively in church, and some of you might care where we come from, or if you don't, I mean, it's not a big deal. Just keep listening to the other episodes where we actually discuss what smart people say.
That's right. Well, as good as we can for being two dumb guys.
Yeah, I mean, we will hopefully have some guests that are even smarter than us.
Which is not saying much.
Yeah, because if they're friends with us,
They're not very smart.
so,
Except for like my dad. He kind of has to be. And
smart. He has to be smart.
no, he just kind of has to be friends with us.
Oh,
He has to put up with us at least.
My dad, I mean, I love my dad and stuff. He probably is not listening to this podcast because he still has like a flip phone.
I was going to say, does he even know what iTunes is?
I don't know.
Or
I mean, he's not
a
really that old.
podcast? He's not, but he's just a simple man.
He's just a simple man.
Like when you think redneck.
He's not
Actually,
a redneck.
I don't think of your dad at all.
He's not a redneck. He's just
simple.
He's just simple.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't take much to impress him. Doesn't take much to.
Right. Like,
he just works on cars. I mean, he's the guy that I call whenever I have car problems.
actually, he calls me, and then while I'm there, he calls his dad, and is like, all right, Dad, tell Andrew what to do.
I usually call my dad and say, Dad, my car's making this noise. And I try to hold the phone to the car. Can you tell me? And my dad's like, oh, that sounds like the Spricker Spractor spoken in the Spricker Spractor. Okay.
Yep, that's
Talk
him.
to Andrew. Tell him what that is. So anyways, my name is Dusty. I'm on here on the podcast.
Good intro, Dusty.
Yeah.
I'm Andrew. I go by Fish on the show.
I never call him that.
He doesn't. He's like my only friend that doesn't, but that's because Dusty and I have been friends forever.
Too long.
Yep, 16 years. And so Dusty's actually, he's been calling me Andrew since day one, and it's what he'll always call me. And whereas everybody else who knows me, because in my other ring of circle of friends, there's multiple Andrews, and so I go by Fish.
I don't have very many friends, so
Whatever.
Andrew's my only Andrew. That's how it rolls.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Now,
You got
Andrew,
other friends.
are you single? No,
Actually, no, you got another friend, Andrew.
I do.
Yeah,
Andrew.
he's in your house church.
Oh, sorry, Andrew. I mean, we go by bro.
There we go. Hopefully, Andrew, you're listening to this and you just heard all that.
Don't slap me. He's a lot bigger than me.
Please slap
He
him.
beat me up.
So, anyways, kind of tell you about Dusty and myself. Let's see. My dad's a pastor. My mom's a school teacher.
That's not about you. That's about you.
Well, no, that's about my upbringing.
Okay.
It's kind of about me. I was a kind of a latecomer onto the Christian scene. I didn't get saved until I was about 16, 17, about 16 and a half, 17. And actually about that same time, actually about a year or so later, I got adopted by my youth pastor. And so let's see.
So he's not a true preacher's kid by any means.
Nope. But I tried to act like one a lot.
Yeah. He got in trouble with the law.
Beforehand, yep. That's way back in the day when Dusty and I knew each other, but we didn't hang out.
Because he was a bad influence on me.
And Dusty was a goody good.
I was a goody good. How things have changed.
Yep. So let's see what else about me. So with my dad being a pastor, I've seen the politics side of church a lot. I've seen that whole aspect, and I've kind of grown up in church. Well, since me growing up in church, that's all I've known is that aspect of it. And then I moved to Oklahoma a few years after that. Actually, I was about 20. Moved to Oklahoma, and because Dusty was living here, and so I moved with Dusty, and we started getting involved at his current church. And then, due to some circumstances that were within my control,
it's like due to some financial maneuvering.
Yeah,
I ended up over here.
Yes, I ended up leaving that church and trying out a few other churches. In that meantime, I had a kid and I got married.
You joined
in that order.
In the army or something?
Yeah, then I joined the military. I was a medic in the army.
Medic!
And that's where most of my life experience comes from, is from the military. So
that's where you went wrong.
No, that's actually probably where I went right.
We appreciate your service, Andrew.
Oh, thanks, Dusty. I appreciate you.
You were gone a very long time in Afghanistan, and I was very sad.
Well, I'm sorry I left you. And so let's see.
You tried to bring me with you, and my mom would have been very angry at you.
Yeah, well, you were only supposed to be in Oklahoma for a summer.
I know.
And you're still here.
Yeah, okay, so about me, I grew up a goody-good kid for the most part. I was in leadership at the youth ministry from 8th grade on. And so, yeah, I mean, I was the kind of kid, like, my parents trusted. I would do crazy stuff. Andrew and I used to go ghost hunting.
Oh, that was fun.
And so, like, there'd be nights where I wouldn't come home till 3 a.m. on a school night, and my parents they had remodeled the house. They built my own door to get into the house. So, I mean, there's a couple times where I came home after my dad had left for work the next morning.
I can attest to that because I was with him.
Yeah, and they didn't even ask me about it. I mean, I wasn't doing anything terrible. It was just hanging out with friends and playing Xbox and.
That's right, and looking for ghosts.
While
getting surrounded by state police and sheriff and city police.
Pulled over a couple times and searched and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, those were some exciting nights.
And
this is how good Dusty was. Even with my bad past, my parents trusted me to go out with him.
Yeah. And they didn't question when we were out till all night long doing stuff. Stupid
and
stuff.
They knew when I came home because we had an alarm that would always beep in their bedroom. So.
And his dad's a light sleeper. If you follow him on Facebook, like every post is, man, if I could only go to sleep tonight.
That's right. And these are usually at like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
So I just hide him on my feed. No.
So hopefully, Dad, you're listening to this and this is boring you enough you're going to go to sleep now.
Go to sleep. You know, you got 2 options. Listen to this or go to sleep.
Which you might want to go to sleep because we're going to tell a lot of other stories we did.
There might be some new information that you didn't know before.
That's right. May not be. Because, I mean, you know about us riding down the hill in the sled in the torrential downpour.
We did paintball. We made a paintball movie inside your house while you guys were on vacation.
Yep. Our whole goal was to make the CD player in the Durango skip.
So we had jumped it and got all 4 wheels off the ground.
That's right, and it finally skipped. Wow, did it take a long time to do that too?
Let's see, you backed into somebody on a McDonald's drive-thru, or not backed in, you you crashed into somebody on the McDonald's drive-thru.
I don't think Dad knows about that one.
They don't have that car anymore. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was on the Sebring. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was I was trying to roast the tires, wasn't I? And I let go of the brake too soon.
No, you weren't that cool. You were you just had flip flops on and your foot slipped. I think and you just hit the car in front of you.
Maybe I did do that. Maybe that's. I'm
Maybe
gonna go
that's
with the cooler story. I was trying to roast them, and
it was like a Sebring. It wasn't even a car that roast tires.
Oh, that car was. That was the yeah. I don't even know what edition, but that car was stinking fast with the slapstick. Just ask Dad how many tickets he got in it. That's how fast
true.
it is.
That's true. Hey, that'll probably come up later. Pastors and their speeding tickets.
Yep, on the way to youth events or pastoral events.
Yeah, just
Hey, Dad did just get back from a conference this weekend. I wonder if he got any tickets. Probably not.
Probably not.
He's slowed down a lot since then.
Yeah.
We'll tell you, minivans are fast. I know this because.
But you can't get the ladies when you drive them.
No. But they're fast. I've won many competitions in that van, Dad. It was fast.
See, I don't have to worry because my dad, like I said, probably won't listen to this podcast and doesn't probably know what a podcast is.
It's true.
And so I can tell stories about taking his pickup truck and going paintballing and you being in the back of the bed of the truck and going too fast on the off-road there.
That wasn't an off-road. That was a cow field.
Okay, too fast in the cow field. And hit a little bump.
That was not a little bump. It sent me flying over the truck.
Yeah, he was in the bed of the truck. And so all of a sudden I see Andrew like flying. And there was a guy in the car with me, or in the truck with me as we're going in. And he like ended up hitting.
He flew into the.
He flew hit the ceiling and like ripped off the mirror. And I kind of like did a little divot on the front of the truck. I mean, the truck still ran. My dad was like, "What happened to the mirror?" I was like, oh, "Man, Ryan, Ryan, he's just an idiot." And my dad's like, "Oh, okay."
Yep.
Because my dad, that's how crazy Ryan was. That my dad believed that story.
Right. All we really had to say was it was Ryan.
It was Ryan.
And both our parents would be. Oh,
okay.
Gotcha.
You guys still hang out with that guy? Oh, man.
He was a fun guy.
We can't afford to keep hanging out with him. Anyway, shout out to Ryan if you're out there.
That's right. Haven't seen you in forever or even heard from you in forever, dude. Yeah. So, big shout out. Oh, what are some other stupid things we did?
Well, I mean, I moved to Oklahoma.
That was stupid. You're right.
According to my mom, that's stupid. But let's see. So I graduated high school.
That was stupid.
And no, what was stupid? It was I could have graduated a semester earlier, but I didn't because I had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll stay in school for another whole semester instead of just wait for you to get out of school.
What are you talking about? You never came to school anyways.
Okay, that's another story.
You were my mom's TA, and my mom helped you skip school. Unknowingly.
A pastor's wife helped me skip school.
Unknowingly.
But she still was an accomplice.
That's true.
That wouldn't hold up in court.
Nope.
So I came to Oklahoma on a summer internship for a youth ministry intern. And ended up being a 2-year internship. And then got ready to leave. And then they were like, let's keep you longer. Let's throw some money at you. So I got, a little bit of money and stayed for another 8 years.
Plus, let's admit it, there was a girl too.
Yeah, there was a girl too.
And so the money just helped.
It's always about the girls.
That's right. The money just helped you, but it was primarily the girl.
Now, Andrew, you're going to make a mess. Andrew's trying to, nonchalantly grab coffee.
A hot coffee pot that I have to bring over Dusty's lap.
Over my lap. That is not cool.
Here, dude, it is.
Just ask. Hey,
I tried signaling it to you a minute ago, and then you started talking about your life and your story, and I was like, great, now I got to wait.
Here you go, Andrew. Can I get you anything else?
Nothing. Yeah, some, what are those little cookies called?
Too late.
I need some of those cookies. Thanks.
So my background, I guess, comes from I've worked in the church. I've been in the church system for many years. I was at that church for over 10 years, I think. 8 years, 10 years, something like that. And so I've just been on staff at a church and then also got involved in this church plant and went through that whole process of trying to figure out what we are going to be all about. Like what does the Bible actually say church has to be? And so when we were planning services and sermons and all that kind of stuff, we just really was trying to figure out what to do, because I was going and interviewing at other churches, and I just realized like none of these churches I would want to go to unless they paid me. And so that's a terrible attitude to have. If I'm just going there to make money.
And even some of them he didn't want to go to, even if they did pay him.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, even if they, but it was, I loved to do youth ministry and it was fun and stuff. But I mean, I just had to. Church is more than just these services that we put on every week. So that's where I got involved and started asking the question about church and why we do what we do. And I'm still a worship leader. I do once a month.
And a house church leader.
And I lead a house church at my house, my apartment, once a week. And that's the relationships you build in house church are just way more meaningful than the ones I build on Sunday morning.
100% agree with that.
And so I don't know. So I've just been struggling with this. So that's where we found this book, Pagan Christianity. And so Andrew and I were talking about maybe doing a Bible study or a book study and kind of walking through this book a little bit to answer some of the questions and the frustrations that we've had.
Right. We had the same. We had the same frustration. Very specific frustration. I mean, we have multiple frustrations, but at the time we were going through the same frustration, and we started talking about it.
And I'm not one to complain. I'm joking. I complain a lot.
And that's when Dusty, I was like, hey, because I was already doing another Bible study, actually with my house church. And man, that Bible study was going great. And I was just, I felt God working. And so it just inspired me and pumped me up more to talk to Dusty about it. And Dusty was like, I was actually going to look for one and going to do one. And so he started looking up books. And I was at this Christian bookstore looking at different studies, and Desi just jumped on his computer and was like, hey,
Well, I was trying to find something that wasn't just somebody who was mad at the church and just writing a contradicting book, to make us question our faith or question the church. I wanted something that was like actual facts, because I study a lot of like Donald Miller. Like I love like listening to his sermons when it comes to storying and
little disclaimer, Donald Miller is Dusty's man crush.
Hey, it's Monday, guys. Man Crush Monday goes out to Donald Miller.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, he's kind of talked just a little bit, like he's like teased us about a thing called Story Church, which was about, and the concept is great. I mean, it's storying is just about creating your life. Like if you were to watch a movie, what characters do you want in that movie? What characters don't make that movie good, and what needs cut out of your life, and just to look at your life and what's your final scene? I mean, what's going to make you at the end of your life, people go to your funeral and go, man, that was a meaningful story? Or is it just going to be about, man, that guy just wasted 60, 70 years of his life? So anyways, he's always talked about storying, and then he kind of teased on the concept of a story church and what that means, and he talks about how, same kind of things, how he is way more community when he's with the people that come to his house than when he's with the people that sit facing front on Sunday morning. And so that got me wondering, and obviously he's just teased about it, and I'm like, where's somebody that's talked about it? And so we found this book, and it kind of looked silly because of the videos that I found on YouTube about it. The promotional videos are so cheesy. But it's called Pagan Christianity by Frank Viola. And so I said, Andrew, look this up. Frank Viola, you're at the bookstore right now. Get it.
Right. And so, I was talking to the cashier lady, and she's looking through the computer, and she's like, oh yeah, we got that. And so we walk over to this whole huge section that has nothing but Frank Viola. And she's looking. Which
tells me that he's an accredited author in the Christian writing. So, I mean, it's not just some local Joe.
Right.
Like we are.
Right. drinking cups of Joe. Anyway, so we're looking, and she's like, "Are you sure it's by him?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure." And so she goes back to her computer, and she finds the name. She finds the book, because the book wasn't even in their system. This book wasn't even in their system. So she got on Google. She found the book, and sure enough, it was Frank Viola. And they have every Frank Viola book except for this one book.
So I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. Let's see what we can find in this book. And it's also co-authored by George Barna.
Yes.
And it's a major research firm, I believe, for Christian origins and stuff like that. So he kind of backs up this book, and they re-released it with him kind of giving some insights and footnotes about, the actual culture back then. And so what we're doing is we've been reading one chapter at a time and discussing it after we read that chapter. We don't read ahead. And so we just don't want any pre-conclusions. I mean, I feel like I know in my heart where it's going to go, but I don't know by their words where it's going to go.
Right. I have an idea of where it's going to go, but at the same time, I have no idea where it's going to go. I have this hunch that, we may be proven wrong, but I don't think we're going to be.
Well, and that's where the struggle is for me. I don't necessarily think that church is doing anything wrong, but I do think maybe it's gotten clouded.
Right.
I guess,
exactly.
Is the word. And so, so that's where I'm struggling with, and that's what I hope to find out about it. And I think, just I'm coming from a side where I've seen how to do church and how to, I've seen pastors where they show up Monday morning and ask the secretary, how did we do? And that usually means how much money did we make?
Yep.
So that's not good.
I've been there on the Monday morning when the pastor walked in and said that.
I mean, I've seen pastors where, coming from a Baptist church, Baptist background, we voted a lot on salaries, and we've seen lots of church budgets because it's really open. And just seeing, pastors that make more than the average of their congregation just seems a little off to me. And just how it's a career path that you can take. It's not
right.
I don't know, and not all pastors are like that, and most of them probably don't even realize if they are that way, that they don't, because they're all about people and serving people. But I don't know. So there's just things that I've struggled with, and hopefully we can air it out on not just our ears, but hopefully you guys can join in on the conversation.
All right, we encourage you to get this book, Pagan Christianity by Frank Viola, co-authored by George Barna, and just read along with us. Use this podcast kind of as a supplement. Ask us questions. We have a Facebook set up. We have a website, BibleBeltBros.com. And you can go to the Contact Us page, ask us questions, email us. Go to our Facebook, send us a message, go to our Twitter.
Well, and then we don't know what we're going to talk about necessarily after this book, so if you got some topics or any ideas, we're open.
We're open, yeah. There's another book that we're thinking about. I believe it's a follow-up to this book, the House Church book.
And that's where I think maybe it talks about House Church a little bit more, because the Acts Church was in houses and stuff. And it's called, what is it, Realigning the Church, I believe is what it's called, the next book. And what they say is, don't read this book without reading the next book, otherwise you're getting half the story. So that's what we're going to do. We're definitely not going to just air out dirty laundry and then
and leave you hanging.
Not leave an answer.
Right. We don't like those cliffhanger movies, and so we're not going to do that to you guys. We're going to do both books, discuss it. And if you don't agree with something we say, email us. Give us another outlook to it.
And that's not wrong. I mean, we're not necessarily right about anything.
Right. I mean, we're just two guys curious, wanting to grow and learn. And so if you guys know more than us...
We're not just two guys. We're two bros.
All right.
And we're two bros in the Bible Belt. Okay?
Okay.
It's branding, Andrew.
Sorry. If you guys want to buy a t-shirt, go to our website.
Or if you guys have any ideas for t-shirts, I make my own t-shirts, so...
Yeah, Dusty owns a printing shop, an apparel shop.
Yeah.
And so if you have any ideas for a shirt,
I have T-shirts for days.
All right, just go to our page, contact us. We'll put you in touch with his store. Because until they sponsor us, I'm not talking about them.
Oh man, is it all about the money for you, Andrew? Because I'm sorry to tell you, there is no money in this.
Oh well, yeah. I guess I need to become a pastor then.
On that note, I think we're done talking about ourselves for now.
I'm pretty sure.
Gives you a little bit of a background. We both come from the church background, different types, different areas. And Andrew has been in the military, so I'm sure he's got some
stories from that end.
Oh my gosh, yes. And we'll probably have some more stories about us. Who knows?
Okay. So take it easy, guys. Hope you enjoyed.